Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's me again. I've got this thing going round in my head at the moment. I'm very concerned about this. If you recall, in March, I think it was, this year, I uploaded a video to YouTube which I think I called "Why Does Middlesbrough Need a Mayor?" Because at that time we were coming up to the elections for the general election, local councils elections and mayoral elections, excuse me, in various parts of the country. I don't think every town or city had a mayoral election, but my Middlesbrough Council certainly did. And in that video that I made in March, I think it was, I asked a very valid question, I think. Why does Middlesbrough need a mayor? I never ever got a reply to that from anyone really, which I found quite telling. So after the elections, it seems that the deputy mayor to the mayor that we had, which is Ray Mallon, the deputy to him was a gentleman called Dave Budd. Now, Dave Budd, it transpires, won the election for mayor in Middlesbrough in 2015. So Dave Budd is now Middlesbrough's mayor. Okay, so far all well and good, or not, depending on your viewpoint. My question yesterday, which I tweeted out to various people or organisations, one of them was I tweeted out to the Evening Gazette. I also tweeted out to @MBRO Mayor, and I also tweeted out to @Dave Budd 4, that's the number 4, not FOR, right, Dave Budd 4 Mayor. And I also tweeted out to the enemy, BBC Tees, which is our local BBC radio station, right? And my question, because as you know Twitter's only limited to about 140 characters or something like that, my question was quite simple. What's total annual cost to CT Pier for Borough Mayor? Question mark. Everything included, wages / salaries for deputy mayor, question mark, advisor, question mark, expenses, question mark, right? Looking at the analytics today for that tweet, the last time I looked, which was about an hour or so ago, was up to about 160 impressions or something like that. So somebody's sitting up and taking notice, but so far nobody's getting back to me on this, what I perceive to be a valid question. Look, I'm a council taxpayer in Middlesbrough, as indeed a whole lot of other people are, okay? And I think as council taxpayers we have a right to know how much this whole, I mean, I call it a farce, other people might call it something else, but I call it a farce, right? How much this stuff costs, We've got, on the one hand, Middlesbrough Council saying, words to the effect of, I'm not quoting them verbatim, but words to the effect of, look guys, we're brass ache, we haven't got any money, we're going to have to increase the council tax by 2%, we're going to have to farm out services to private companies, we're on our arse, right? And yet, a town, don't forget Middlesbrough's a town, it's not a city, right? It's a town. Yet, they can afford, like, I don't know what's going on going forward. I need to dig into this a bit deeper, right? But let's just go back to Ray Mallon's tenure for the last time he was in office until he stood down in May, right, 2015, right? I think I know for a certain fact that Ray Mallon had a deputy called Dave Budd, right, deputy mayor, right? So, in one fell swoop there, as far as I'm concerned, you have two salaries. You have Ray Mallon's salary, of which I don't know what it was, and you've got Dave Budd's salary as the deputy mayor, and I don't know what that was, right? Also in the mix, I know for a fact that Ray Mallon had a political advisor called Chris Snowden, right? Now, whether Chris Snowden was actually paid for that role, you know, political advisor to the mayor, I have no idea. I need to dig deeper on that one as well, right? But let's just say that he wasn't paid for that role, right? That still leaves us with the salary for a mayor, Ray Mallon, the deputy mayor, Dave Budd, plus expenses, right? And what I want to know is, and I would imagine a lot of other people in Middlesbrough who are council taxpayers would want to know as well, is what was the total cost to taxpayers, council taxpayers in Middlesbrough for the last year of Ray Mallon's tenure as mayor, right? I don't think that's, you know, it's not a difficult question, right? It's quite easy, right? Now, I would hope that Middlesbrough Borough Council would offer up that information of their own volition, right? Excuse me. If they don't, and I'm going to ask, right, well indeed, kind of in a roundabout way I already have asked, because as I say, I've sent these tweets out to, you know, but maybe Middlesbrough Borough Council don't conduct business via Twitter, right? So let's try in the next few days, shall we say, a more orthodox approach, right? And if Middlesbrough Borough Council are not willing, I'm not saying they aren't willing, I'm just speculating a bit here, right? But let's say for the sake of argument that they're not willing to be forthcoming with these figures, okay, then that begs the question, why not? If indeed that turns out to be the case, right? So, preempting Middlesbrough Borough Council's possible response, I tweeted out to somebody else, well maybe I or others should submit a Freedom of Information request, right? Excuse me, I've got the hiccups a bit. And you know, if that's going to ultimately how it turns out, that I have got to submit a Freedom of Information request to find out the answers to what I consider to be a perfectly valid question, right, then I think that's a little bit sad in a way, you know. But ultimately, as I say, this is speculation because I don't know yet. But anyway, I will endeavour to find out, right? Because I don't see the connection with, on the one hand, a borough council virtually pleading poverty, which, you know, when you break it down is kind of what they're doing, right? you know, we are, you know, we're on our knees and this service is going to have to be cut and that service is going to have to be cut and we can't afford this and we can't afford to do that. Yet, on the other hand, it seems, and I stress it seems because I don't know at the moment, that they can afford to elect a mayor and a deputy mayor with all the extra costs that those roles entail. That's kind of my perspective on this issue, right? So I want answers. I don't think it's unreasonable to expect answers either. So, as I say, I'm going to dig deeper into this, ladies and gentlemen, because nothing's coming back through Twitter, which, you know, I didn't really expect, but, you know, I think councils prefer a more orthodox approach, so that's the approach I'll be taking going forward. So I will do my utmost to keep you appraised of exactly what's going on here. And oh, and another thing as well, I really don't, you know, given all these cuts and 2% increase in council tax. Just a minute, ladies and gentlemen, a quick slurp. I've been talking for a while. MEMA, the what is it, Middlesbrough Institute, MEMA, that's it, Middlesbrough Institute of Modern Art, that's what they call it, MEMA, right? It's an art gallery, basically, and it's free. Anyone can just walk into this place, right? And I've been in there once, right? And you know, I'm a bit of a philistine when it comes to art, right? So what do I know? But a bigger load of tosh I've never seen in all my life, ladies and gentlemen, right? But when I was talking to Ray Mallon about it a year or two back, he said, you know, oh, it's fantastic for the town, this, that and the other, blah blah blah, right? And it's successful and all that stuff. Well, if it's that successful, why not institute or introduce, I should say rather, a nominal fee for people going in? You know, let's just call it £1, right? What's £1 these days? It's nothing, is it? Right? You know, I mean, you got millions of forged pound coins in circulation, and nobody does anything about it because it costs more to do something about it than it actually, you know what I mean, right? So £1's nothing, right? It's meaningless, right? So why not introduce, you know, like a token charge, £1? There you go. You can pay £1, you can come in and see MEMA and all it has to offer. And if it's so successful as, you know, the previous Mayor Ray Mallon suggested that it is, right, then people will surely pay it, won't they? You know, £1, it's nothing, right? But yet, it's still free, and it's free because mugs like me cough up to pay my council tax so that any bugger can just walk into this art gallery for nothing. What's that about? Don't get it. Anyway, that's my little rant over, ladies and gentlemen, for today. And as I say, I'll try and keep you appraised as to what's going on with this, how much the mayor and all this stuff cost us. So I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.